Chad, is there something wrong with your table? Okay.
The teachers you have in school mold you for life, for better or for worse.
Mr. Matthews, Romeo and Juliet is Shakespeare's ultimate testament of love between a man and a woman.
Help, Mr. Feeny!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 male teachers on TV.
Hola, losers.
For this list, we're picking what we feel are the most memorable male teachers, professors, and educational authority figures on the small screen.
Anybody else?
Sure, he was tough, but you had to respect him.
Number 10, Mr. Arthur Collins, The Wonder Years.
The answer is 12y plus 3.
Okay, so I wasn't exactly God's gift to polynomials, but I was doing my best, and Collins knew it.
Remember that teacher who terrified and enraged you, but inspired you to do better all at the same time?
Take your seats and open your textbooks to Unit 17.
Meet Mr. Collins, the tough and stern teach whose compassion for his students rarely breaks through his professional exterior, unless you're Kevin Arnold.
Avi.
Yes, I know.
Ta-da!
Math professor extraordinaire to our junior high protagonist, Mr. Collins is the kind of guy who'll go the extra mile to see his students succeed.
I think you can get that A, Mr. Arnold. And I think you want to.
An A.
And it's that kind of quiet support that earned him a spot on this list, despite the fact that he only appeared in a handful of episodes.
I thought you were my friend.
Not your friend, Mr. Arnold. Your teacher.
Number 9, Mr. Will Schuester, Glee. Will Schuester, the curly-headed leader of McKinley High School's choir on Glee, takes sensitivity to new levels.
For the next week, each of you is going to spend 3 hours a day in a wheelchair. Oh. And we're doing a wheelchair number.
Mr. Shu, as he's affectionately known, is the dream teacher. Compassionate, caring, enthusiastic, inspiring, and able to hit the high notes.
There's question marks hanging over us, but we won't give the time of day. Oh.
Sure, he sometimes makes a bad decision, but he's got the backs of every kid in his Glee club, and he works overtime to make them the best that they can be.
I know what it's like to struggle to make good life choices. And I don't want to see you throw away everything you have to offer the world.
Number 8, Mr. Roland Pryzbylewski, The Wire.
What did you do before you decided to teach Mr. Pryzbylewski?
I was a police in the city.
Can a guy go from disgraced cop to beloved teacher? If that guy is The Wire's Roland Pryzbylewski, he can.
It's a present. For all you did. It's for your desk.
Prezbo was bummed about leaving the force, but he finds his true calling as a math teacher.
Calvin, you done already?
Yeah, I'm done.
He manages to address the problems of his students while setting up boundaries, and even succeeds in teaching things that would actually benefit them in life.
What can I do? He says he knows about a murder. I have to notify police on this.
At least let me call someone I trust.
Number 7, Mr. Charles P. Charlie Moore, head of the class.
Morning.
Teaching students can be a challenge, even if they're smart and gifted.
That is one unsuccessful graduating class.
Just kidding.
In head of the class, history teacher Charlie Moore has to remind them that there's a difference between learning and knowing, and that there's more to life than getting into a good college.
All right. Where were we?
We were watching you and the assistant principal making goo-goo eyes.
Mr. Moore is in that long line of motivational teachers that knows how to show a person that life is far too good to waste.
You can call me whatever you want. Just please don't give me any notes on my teaching. I may be
strange, maybe different. Maybe you think I'm not good enough, but I'm pretty good.
Number 6, Dr. Richard Solomon, Third Rock from the Sun.
Everything's just going fine, and somebody has a feeling. And kaboom! Suddenly they don't like you.
Dick Solomon, physics professor at Pendleton State University, isn't your typical teacher.
Of course, I never thought of that. Oh, tomorrow, I want you all to write a paper for me about feelings. Tell me how it feels to use only 10% of your brain.
For one thing, he's an alien from another world who's just disguised as a regular human being.
Hey, class. I thought we'd try something different.
No kidding.
For another, he's kind of an overgrown kid and doesn't know a lot about how human beings behave.
I think we've underestimated the life on this planet. The people have so much courage.
As a result, he tends to learn a lot more from his students than they do from him. But come to think of it, that happens a lot in real life too.
Come on, Dr. Solomon, you were young once.
Why, no. No, I wasn't. Well, what do you mean? None of your business!
Number 5, Mr. Herbert Garrison, South Park.
Okay, children, today we're going to learn all about Japanese poems called haiku.
South Park's Mr. Garrison, known for a while as Mrs. Garrison after a sex change operation, may not be the greatest role model, but he definitely qualifies as memorable.
And now, children, our friend Mr. Head is going to tell us about Christopher Columbus. That's right, Mr. Garrison. Christopher Columbus discovered America.
The elementary school teacher appears to suffer from multiple personality disorder, with 2 of those personalities expressed through puppets called Mr. Hat and Mr. Twig.
Mr. Garrison, seriously, I have to go. Can I please be excused from class?
I don't know, Kyle. Did you ask Mr. Hat?
I don't want to ask Mr. Hat. I'm asking you.
Although for puppets, they seem to have very independent lives. As a teacher, Mr. Garrison is incompetent and spends much more time showing his class Barnaby Jones reruns and making factual errors, which doesn't really seem so out of place in the world of South Park.
Mr. Garrison, we've been watching Barnaby Jones repeats for 8 days now. It's hard to keep paying attention.
Oh, well, excuse me, Kyle. Why don't you just forget what Barnaby Jones has to say? Why don't you not pay attention to Barnaby Jones, and then let's see how far you get in society?
Number 4, Mr. George Feeny, Boy Meets World.
There's no gravity in space, Mr. Matthews. Therefore, astronauts suck up. Learn from them.
Boy Meets World's Mr. Feeny would make the list if for no other reason than that he somehow managed to be a part of Corey Matthews' academic life from elementary school through college. And why not? Mr. Feeny may be strict, but he has a heart of gold underneath.
Believe in yourselves. Dream. Try.
He cares deeply about his students and pushes them hard out of a sense of devotion and love.
Tell us you love us.
I regard all my students equally.
Oh, you know we're your favorites.
While the almost too cool for school Jonathan Turner deserves a mention as John Adams High's motorcycle riding English teacher, it's Feeny that continues to live on through countless memes and Tumblr posts today.
Well, this afternoon, Mr. Matthews, you are going to learn something from me. Do I have your attention?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, Walter White, Breaking Bad.
Chemicals. No. Chemistry is, well, technically, chemistry is the study of matter.
Walter White starts out as a pretty good chemistry teacher, displaying a passion for the subject that was once his chosen profession.
Now just think about this. Electrons, they change their energy levels.
However, he just doesn't know how to reach a bunch of kids who clearly have no interest in it.
It is fascinating, really.
As White grows more and more invested in his Heisenberg persona, his teaching personality changes too.
Mr. White?
And not always for the better.
You've been absent a lot recently. And when you are here at school, there have been some behavioral questions.
But watching the contrast is absolutely engrossing.
Just keep this. Let's handle this.
Well, hey! Walt, what's wrong with you?
Number 2, Ben Chang, Community.
All right. Last night I graded your tests. I'm sure you want to know how you did, right? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell you until I find out who did this!
Ben Chang is not your typical Spanish teacher. For one thing, he faked his teaching credentials. For another, he's a bully, and an unbalanced one at that. And whatever the Spanish word is for dictatorial, that describes his approach to teaching at Greendale.
I faked my way into a job as a Spanish teacher at a community college, relying on phrases from Sesame Street.
Oh my God.
Save the judgment, Winger, all right?
No wonder he got fired. Still, Senior Chang has an undercurrent of vulnerability and a load of insecurity.
Hey! You two-faced jag! You're wearing protective goggles to destroy my car? Safety first! Stop!
He may not be the kind of teacher you want in the classroom, but he's definitely the kind you want on your favorite quirky sitcom.
Okay, come back in 10 minutes, and if anyone asks, I sent you to learn things. And Pierce, close the door, please. Gracias.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
We're a drama club! Come on! Give me some drama!
Formatting and computer labs. In here, I thought it would be nerdy and lame.
Not at all. And then we're going to be footnoting and endnoting, and it's going to be so cool.
Great.
Number 1.
Good morning.
Gabe Kotter, welcome back, Kotter. Gabe Kotter may have had goofy hair and a silly mustache, but hey, it was the 70s.
I am not a 16-year-old sweat hog.
Anything else, Kotter?
Yes. Up your nose with a rubber hose.
More importantly, he had more heart and more humor than he knew what to do with.
When you hear my news, you're gonna wish you were dead. You are being reviewed today. Don't look like a teacher, look miserable.
Mr. Kotter was exactly the teacher that his students, the sweat hogs, needed. Everyone else gave up on them. Mr. Kotter refused to. Kotter was no dummy. He didn't let his kids get away with things, but he also never let them down.
Oh, Mr. Kotter, don't you know that we really care about what happens to you?
Yeah, look, we're here. We really do, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go to a...
Do you agree with our list? What other amazing male educators from TV should we have added to this list?
Where's Mr. Jensen?
He's out sick today.
For more educational top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
You're very confident, I'll say that.
But you shouldn't be.